appearance on PlayStation 3, Sony's flagship baseball series is now in refinement mode, having already earned strong praise for its visuals, batter-pitcher interface, depth of options, and play modes. For casual fans, MLB 12 may not seem like a significant stride forward, as for the most part, what's new is more accurately described as what's been tweaked. Nonetheless, many of last year's shortcomings have been addressed, with the developers making efforts to improve the overall look and feel of the game to mirror its real-life counterpart.
They took him to 2 strikes and then got him to lift this one harmlessly in the air. Not a productive out there.
A little late that time as he swings and misses for strike 1.
While nearly all of the play modes will be familiar for fans of the earlier MLB games, there's one enticing new option for online players. In the new Diamond Dynasty mode, players will be able to create a team and attempt to develop the perfect roster of all-stars over time. Similar to the Ultimate Team options in EA's Madden and FIFA series, the Diamond Dynasty mode is you building a team by collecting cards of real-life players or your own custom athletes. This mode features an enormous amount of customization options, from facial features and hairstyles to uniforms and one of the most detailed logo editors yet seen in a sports game. You'll be able to create or recreate the perfect look for your team. You can create the same uniforms from your high school, college, or t-ball squad to something inspired from film, television, or books. Each custom team has a budget that's used to train players, purchase new card packs, and more. On the field, you'll earn points to enhance your players' attributes, improve your online ranking, and increase your team's fan support, which translates into more money in your budget. Diamond Dynasty draws quite a bit of inspiration from other sports games, but it's still a welcome addition to MLB 12, one that fans will look forward to playing each day.
Oh, and here's a fastball right down the middle of the plate that swung on and hit out to deep left field, and this one's not coming back. This is a long home run.
Of course, players who have experienced earlier games in the series know that online play was not exactly a selling point. Fortunately, online issues have noticeably improved in MLB 12, from server stability and matchmaking to lag. There are still some timing adjustments that need to be made while batting, and scores tend to be lower in online matches than in offline games, but online play is no longer the source of frustration as it was for earlier titles in the series. If you are primarily an online player, however, there are not a lot of significant changes to the offline options. 4-player co-op play has now been expanded to season, franchise, and rivalry modes, instead of being limited to exhibition games, and the role-playing-like Road to the Show mode is a bit more streamlined. You'll now begin your path to the big leagues as a AA starter. You'll still have to perform well to stay in the lineup or rotation, but now you have a defined role when starting your career.
In the air to center.
The analog-based controls introduced in last year's game returned to MLB 12 with some notable changes. A new pulse pitching option adds a degree of challenge in executing a pitch. Players have to time their release by watching a pulsating cursor, which follows a heartbeat-like rhythm that's based on a pitcher's composure and difficulty setting. The trick is to tap the pitch button the moment the cursor shrinks to its smallest point. If you miss, the ball might sail out of the strike zone or land dangerously close to a hitter's sweet spot. The seemingly small addition to the pitching mechanics adds palpable tension when on the mound, particularly against a rival team's top sluggers, as if you don't concentrate, you can get hammered or start walking batters. Of course, you can always turn this feature off and return to the pitching schemes from earlier games. The developers have wisely added new control options without forcing you to adopt a particular scheme if it's not to your liking. At the plate, the right analog stick is again used to stride and swing. An added option lets you manipulate an ugly cursor which looks like a ball of phlegm over the strike zone with the left analog stick. Moving the cursor throughout the strike zone ultimately gives you more control over your hits, as you can directly influence whether you pull the ball, slap the ball on the ground, or initiate a fly ball with proper placement of the cursor in relation to the pitch. Perhaps the most important change to the gameplay is how the ball's physics have been reworked so that it more realistically comes off the bat based on its rotation, as well as the direction of your swing and the speed of the pitch. Not only is there more variety in hit types, but the speed of hits is also taken into account. You'll notice seeing eye singles, rockets down the line, dribblers back up the mound, bloop hits just beyond the second baseman or shortstop, and much, much more. What makes MLB 12 so enjoyable to play is how each game rewards your baseball knowledge. Teams managed by the computer play strategically to their real-life strengths, and each athlete performs as you'd expect in a big league game. The added realism offered by the physics, along with the new hitting and pitching mechanics, makes for a thrilling experience, which is certainly helped by the impressive visuals.
Skipper's out of the third base dugout on his way toward the mound, and a change is in the offing as that'll be all for his starter this afternoon.
MLB 12's visuals have few equals in the world of sports games, with impeccably detailed player models, gorgeous stadiums, and fluid animations. The developers clearly strive to make the game resemble a broadcast, so the camera will quickly cut to umpires on the line, disappointed batters after being robbed of a hit, mascots prancing near the dugout, and views of the crowd. There are countless little details that help bring the game to life, such as an outfielder reaching out to brace himself near a wall before making a catch, or a pitcher wincing in pain after a ball hits his shin, blurring the line between playing a game and watching one on television.
Pretty well hit deep down the line in right, but that's back into the seats foul.
Unfortunately, the presentation's lone weakness, the commentary, hasn't been addressed in MLB 12. Play-by-play announcer Matt Vasgersian will mention some player-specific details as the hitter comes to the plate, but the rest of the commentary is still disappointingly generic. In-game stats and achievements are noted, for example, but you never get the sense that the announcers are conversing with one another, or tailoring their analysis toward a specific player's tendencies or abilities.
And I think the natives are getting restless here for that man to come out and do something.
Yeah, it's beyond me why he's staying put while these guys are knocking his starter all over the yard.
Color analysts Dave Campbell and Eric Karros offer little insight. You'll hear things like, "He was fooled on that pitch," "He looks good out there," or "That was a great play," without anyone mentioning a player's name. Crowd noise is also not as lively as it should be, and the dearth of organ music is disconcerting. While the sound effects, particularly the bat hitting the ball, are accurate, the commentary simply can't match the quality of the visuals. MLB 12 doesn't go far enough in its features list to feel like a whole new experience, but there's no question that an already enjoyable game of baseball has improved. Your view of MLB 12 will largely be influenced on what you expect from a yearly sports game. If you want substantially new play options and features, then MLB 12 may come as a disappointment, particularly if you aren't interested in playing the game online. Yet, if you place a higher value on the quality of the on-field action, then MLB 12's attention to detail will enthrall and entertain.